Houston is the most populous city in the U.S. state of Texas. Fourth most populous city in the United States. Most populous city in the southern United States, as well as the sixth most populous in North America, with an estimated 2019 population of 2,320,268. Located in southeast Texas near Galveston Bay and the Gulf of Mexico. It is the seat of Harris County and the principal city of the Greater Houston metropolitan area, which is the fifth most populous metropolitan statistical area in the United States and the second most populous in Texas after the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex, with a population of 7,066,141 in 2019. Houston is the southeast anchor of the greater megaregion known as the Texas Triangle, comprising a total area of 637.4 square miles. Houston is the eighth most expansive city in the United States. It is the largest city in the United States by total area, whose government is not consolidated with that of a county, parish, or borough, though primarily in Harris County. Small portions of the city extend into Fort Bend and Montgomery counties, bordering other principal communities of Greater Houston such as Sugar Land and the Woodlands. The city of Houston was founded by land investors on August 30, 1836, at the confluence of Buffalo Bayou and White Oak Bayou and incorporated as a city on June 5, 1837. The city is named after former General Sam Houston, who was President of the Republic of Texas and had won Texas's independence from Mexico at the Battle of San Jacinto 25 miles east of Allen's Landing. After briefly serving as the capital of the Texas Republic in the late 1830s, Houston grew steadily into a regional trading center for the remainder of the 19th century. The arrival of the 20th century had a convergence of economic factors that fueled rapid growth in Houston, including a burgeoning port and railroad industry, the decline of Galveston as Texas's primary port following a devastating 1900 hurricane, the subsequent construction of the Houston Ship Channel, and the Texas oil boom. In the mid-20th century, Houston's economy diversified, as it became home to the Texas Medical Center, the world's largest concentration of healthcare and research institutions, and NASA's Johnson Space Center, where the Mission Control Center is located. Houston's economy since the late 19th century has a broad industrial base in energy, manufacturing, aeronautics, and transportation, leading in healthcare sectors and building oilfield equipment. Houston has the second most Fortune 500 headquarters of any U.S. municipality within its city limits. The Port of Houston ranks first in the United States in international waterborne tonnage handled, and second in total cargo tonnage handled. Nicknamed the Bayou City, Space City, H-Town, and the 713, Houston has become a global city, with strengths in culture, medicine, and research. The city has a population from various ethnic and religious backgrounds and a large and growing international community. Houston is the most diverse metropolitan area in Texas and has been described as the most racially and ethnically diverse major metropolis in the U.S. It is home to many cultural institutions and exhibits, which attract more than 7 million visitors a year to the Museum District. The Museum District is home to 19 museums, galleries, and community spaces. Houston has an active visual and performing arts scene in the theater district, and offers year-round resident companies in all major performing arts. The Houston area is located on land that was once home of the Karankawa and the Atakapa indigenous peoples for at least 2,000 years before the first known settlers arrived. These tribes are almost non-existent today. This was most likely caused by foreign disease and competition with various settler groups in the 18th and 19th centuries. However, the land remained largely uninhabited until settlement in the 1830s. The Allen brothers, Augustus Chapman and John Kirby, explored town sites on Buffalo Bayou and Galveston Bay. According to historian David McComb, he brothers, on August 26, 1836, bought from Elizabeth A. Parrott, wife of T.F.L. Parrott and widow of John Austin, the south half of the lower league granted to her by her late husband. They paid $5,000 total, but only $1,000 of this in cash. Notes made up the remainder. The Allen brothers ran their first advertisement for Houston just 4 days later in the Telegraph and Texas Register, naming the notional town in honor of President Sam Houston. They successfully lobbied the Republic of Texas Congress to designate Houston as the temporary capital, agreeing to provide the new government with a state capitol building. About a dozen persons resided in the town at the beginning of 1837. But that number grew to about 1,500 by the time the Texas Congress convened in Houston for the first time that May. The Republic of Texas granted Houston incorporation on June 5, 1837, as James S. Holman became its first